Hey everyone, it's Scotty T. I'm setting up the Trackmate timer today. This is the one that's owned by Cross. Most of them should be the same, but we're going to show you how to first put the batteries in. So we have 4 of these modules. They're for the timing sensors, and they have batteries in them because they're the wireless module. So take our screws out first. I always pop them in a lid just to make sure I don't lose any. And once we're done with that, we'll pop the lid off, just being careful of the wiring there, and in go our batteries. So we put 4 of those in. Negative end goes with the spring, as per usual in these packs. Then when we put it back on, just tuck your wires in, make sure your LED lines up and your little hole there lines up for the power. So what we usually do before we screw it all on is test. Light comes on, that means she's good. Okay, that's the first step, getting batteries in the sensors. Now you need to do all 4 of those. Okay, so I'm just doing the last sensor unit now. Pop the battery in. Make sure your batteries are really seated well because they can come a bit loose. So we'll carefully pop this lid back on again. Pop our 4 screws in, and then all of our sensors will be done. Just check the power first. All good. Don't want to do them up too tight. And there we go. All 4 sensors are now ready for operation. Let's just check all of them. We're powered up. Okay, put them aside now. We need to put the batteries in the main unit. Same story, turn it over, unscrew the back. Same battery pack. Load them up. Just fit the back on and switch it on. Make sure it powers up. All good. The screws go back in. Alright, time to set up the sensors. So the first thing we want to do is plug our black sensors in. So what we've got is a red tape on one to indicate the red lane. No tape on the other. So this is going to be our start line for this demo. I've got my cabling here. Now this cabling usually comes with the Trackmate, I believe. We have an extension cable that goes between, but we don't need that right now. Now do the finish line. So these will be down at the finish line running off your extension cable, and your extension cable would actually run to this finish, but for this we'll just go direct with the cable. So this one plugs into the extension cable. So pop that in there, power up these. So this would be happening at both the start and finish lines for both lanes. You need to run both lanes at all times with this setup. You can't run just one lane. So what you do when you're running single lane is set it up like this. And so your start and finish line is just parallel with each other like that. And then read off the red lane. Or you can read off the white lane if you want, but I find the red lane's usually pretty reliable. So just all the sensors are lined up. You can see all the lights are on, so that means these are lined up. So when we go in with this mode, the default mode is qualifying mode, so there's no false start, it's just a single set of beeps and then go after the last beep. So now that's counting down and we can go. So our start line is here. We've triggered the start, so we've got a time running there. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. And I'll trigger the finish. And I kind of did that backwards because the right lane was in front, but they'd be even in the finish if you're running 2 lanes and you're just reading off the 1 lane. So that's how that all hangs together and works. The other thing we have for running outdoors is a little speaker. I'd have to make sure that's charged too. This has an adapter, so I won't run it over the sensors. Let's just place it there for the moment. So going into there, and this one goes to the large serial port here. Put that in the right way. So it looks like the speaker's okay, and when I turn it on it should now beep from the speaker. So plenty loud enough for riders, and we'll just give it one test run. Press the exit button there and go. Okay, now everything's set up. I'll just do another quick run through qualifying mode. So we're in qualifying mode here. I'll just carefully put those wires there so you can see this a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit better. So the last set of times are on the screen. We just record them down into whatever system we're using, paper, spreadsheet, and then we just hit the middle button again when we want to go for the next rider. And go. And finish. So there's our times. So we did qualifying mode before. What we'll do this time is going into race mode, which has random start and also time penalty for false start and reaction time. So we will switch this on. So if we do nothing, it goes into normal mode 1. Mode 1 is just 3 beeps, 4th beep, go, raw time. So go after the 4th beep, qualifying mode. Now to switch to the other mode, when we turn it on, hold down button 1. And I'll just move that there so hopefully you can see what's on the screen. Switch it on. It'll start scrolling through modes, so it'll go R race, 2 race, 1 race, and then it gets to G race. So you just leave it on G race, it'll say 8 there, and all you do is press the middle button and you're in mode 0, ready to go. So random start there, and reaction time, you can see the reaction time recorded next to it. So we'll do it again, that'll do another random start, and what I'll do is I'll jump the start this time. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't quite get to jump it, the beat was really close. So we'll do a 3rd run, just trip that off for the end there, and hit it again. Beep, beep, beep. Jump the start, both lanes. So we've got a reaction there, minus 1.875 and 1.983. So trip the end. So there are our times we put in for a false start time. All good. Okay, now I'll show you how to use the huge extension cable. So not sure you can see that, you can possibly see that in the picture. We'll just move that there. Got a piece of Velcro there, just holding it up. So undo the Velcro. Now what happens? This goes to the start line. So the reel stays at the finish line. You put the reel at the finish line and then you wind this out to the start line. So that plugs in to the actual unit on the start line. Now what you have to make sure of is that that's neatly tucked away in there, that there's no cable hanging out here to get entangled in this, because that's happened before. So it's actually nice and short now and quite hard to get it entangled. So leaving that in there, we're unwinding this, unwinding, all the way to the start line. then over here, what we do is we plug that into finish, because down here we're extending to the finish. So let's pop that in there, and then when I pop this into the other end of here, and our lights light back up over here. So hopefully you can see that, but the finish line is now lit up and our sensors will work. I can prove that by turning this on, hit the middle button to run another race, and break the sensors, and break those sensors, and there we go. Got some times there, everything's working. So when you're running your race, it's a good idea to tie the cable up like this, and tie the hose reel so it doesn't move, and that's just going to go like that. It won't go very far, and keep everything tidy. It's nice and tight, a bit tighter than that. There we go. So then when it comes time to wind it up, you won't forget to unplug it and wind the cable around the reel. Undo the tape, undo that, tuck that back in, make sure it's tucked in. Start winding. Oh, obviously you undo it from the start line first too. Then strap it up again.